back with a couple more of the wise guys of Wise Guys Cooking. Let me introduce to you Tony Dees, who plays the Godfather, and Larry Capilotto, who plays the show's Ed McMahon. I'm already curious. How you doing?
Hey, Brian. How you doing?
I've been practicing those names. I hope I did all right. It's good to see you guys.
Who's Italiano? You're perfect.
Thank you, sir. All right. I didn't tell you. Actually, I have. I'm Black, French, Italian. That's part of who I am.
There you go. Now you got all it takes is one drop.
I'm not nearly as Italian as you, but all right. Let's get right to the good. So Tony, you've been entertaining since you were a kid. Give us some history about that.
Oh, I did my first paying gig when I was 12 years old.
Oh, whoa.
I sang the national anthem for Laker games. I made movies. I worked all over the Sunset Strip. I worked in Vegas. I worked all over. And right now I'm working at the Palm Desert Resort Country Club on Saturdays. And all over all the other country clubs up and down, you know, the desert here.
Since you were 12 years old, that's pretty remarkable.
It was about a week ago.
I was waiting for that age joke to come in at some point. All right, let's move on. So, Larry, you've got started as far as big bands. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I started with the Ted Herman Big Band 19 years ago and sang with them for 17 years. Then broke off and started doing my own show at the Indian Wells Resort Hotel on Monday nights. And every Monday night I have a different female guest artist to join me, and it kind of gives the show a different flavor.
And you've been doing this for a while here in the desert.
I've been doing this for about, oh my God, 50 years myself.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Oh, wow. Remarkable. All right, you want to make an age joke?
No.
No.
You don't want to roast him real quick?
All right. This is the desert. We don't make age jokes.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Tell us a bit about the character, the Godfather, on the show.
The Godfather is the guy who gives advice to people. Like people write letters to Larry because they don't know how to spell my last name. And he gets the letters and he asks me the questions. Like, give me a question. What about the guy that owes you money, Larry?
Yeah. The Godfather, Joe Robini, sent me this letter that said, I loaned this guy some money and I'm having trouble collecting. What should I do, Godfather?
Tie him to your car and see how fast he can run, you know? That kind of stuff. Educational stuff, you know?
Scared of you. Educational?
Good for the kids. Yeah, it's good for the kids.
Educational.
Listen, we're not politically correct, okay?
I see that. And this is what you get when you tune in at 11:30 on Sunday nights. It's all of this, right? All right, so as we move on, tell us a bit about, as far as you performing here in Palm Springs, what is it like?
Well, Palm Springs is an area that's perfect for people in our age area because they love the Sinatra, the Dean Martin, what we call American songbook type music. And of course Tony does that, I do that, Frank DeSalvo does that, and Paul Elia. I mean, we're all entertainers, and this is our meat. This is what we grew up with ourselves. So therefore it comes easy to us, and you know, we love what we do. Yeah. And you know, until such time as our voices give out. And Tony, I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
With a laugh like that? Yeah, you're in trouble, buddy.
You're dead meat. You'll never make it to the car on the way out, all right? This guy.
We have a full audience in here, by the way. Before we bump to the break, tell me a bit about Ed McMahon and some of the, what is that like? What do we can expect from Ed McMahon?
Well, you know, when they did the show, evidently I must have a good talking voice. And so they put me into that slot. I kind of tell everybody they put me in that slot just to have somebody pretty next to Frank, you know. But
this guy loves you. He loves you.
I'm Tony. Frank's over there.
Oh, my bad. Well, he looked at you.
No, it works out well. I do the announcing, and I do for the commercials, the people who are sponsoring the show, and it's a lot of fun. You know, the whole thing is a bunch of zany guys having a wonderful time doing what we all love to do, and that's be crazy.
Let's face it, he's got a great speaking voice. I got a great singing voice.
Oh, stop. You both are beautiful. Poor attempt at my Italian accent. Again, Wise Guys Cooking airs on NBC Palm Springs every Sunday night at 11:30. A big thanks to Tony and Larry for being on the show. Go check them out, and we'll check you out after the break. We'll see you in a moment. We've been talking with the creative guys behind the NBC Palm Springs show, Wise Guys Cooking. We've got two more for you. Our next guests are Michael Dees, who plays the Undertaker on the show, and Tony Pomponio, the Wise Guys band leader. How are you, buddy?
I'm fine, Brian.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, Brian. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you, always. So we're going to start with you. Let's talk a bit about your role as the Undertaker. There's backstory with this.
Well, I'm not just The Undertaker. I am the president of the Chicago Funeral Parlors Association, and it's been my pleasure to do it for the great many years.
Okay.
Following I'm such a fan of Frank. My old family, fan of Frank, but that's what I do.
Gotcha. This is really what you do. So you wear several hats.
Oh, well, I actually wear 2 hats. Well, 3 hats. I wrote and sang the song that they open with, the opening credits, and then I play the psychiatrist that took care of Frank's problem, or at least says he's going to try to take care of Frank's problem.
So that sounds like a big job you got there.
Oh, big. I'm telling you.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on down the line. Mr. Pomponio, how did this band leader role come about?
Well, you know what? I play the accordion. And I've been a big follower of all the fellas, all the singers. They're all my good friends, all the Italian guys. And I was just approached one day and asked if I was interested in playing this role in the show. And I said, okay, that's great. So I started reading some scripts. I go, hey, wait a minute. I'm Italian. I got enough good stories to tell. I talked to Mike, our director, and I said, hey, what do you think? He goes, just run with it. So anyway, I got a lot of problems, you know, and I'm telling you. But I love the people, okay? So what I did was I took on this role as this Italian guy off the boat, playing my accordion in the subway in Chicago, and my wife came down and slipped and shit the paper, and this guy over here put her away. That's why he teamed me up with this guy. I don't get that one, but okay. Don't die before me, okay? Anyway, so it's been a lot of fun, and I totally enjoy being part of the show. I'm literally new to acting. This is not something I've ever done in the past. I've been told. I'm a big fan of guys like Rodney Dangerfield and the old guys at Johnny Carson show. So it was a good fit, and I'm really enjoying my role and my part.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I love watching you, and again, I tune in, and you should as well. So let's move back to you just for a moment. What is this Rat Pack voiceover, Frank Sinatra, HBO stuff you're talking about?
Well, I've been doing since around 1970. I got into did a lot of movie and TV soundtracks. And I did my first one in 1969. And then I've done a bunch of them since. And one of the more recent ones was the Rat Pack, where Ray Liotta played Sinatra. And I sang the Sinatra stuff in the thing. And I've done Strangers in the Night in 3 different movies. Oh, wow. Over the years. For a while, Strangers in the Night was really hot. Everybody was wanting that. But yeah, I did that and TV stuff. And I've been in the business, I've been in the music business for 60 years. Wow. And it's not so much that I did it. Tony started earlier, but I'm much older than Tony. So.
We won't tell Tony that. All right, so what is it like working on Wise Guys? You love it?
Oh, are you kidding me? I have so much fun. I'll tell you, part of the fun is just being this character. I speak a little broken English, you know, I have a little fun with it. I've got a whole family that's this way. So I like to tell stories that involve me as growing up as a kid, and then I inject some additional humor, things that, you know, I just kind of dream up as I'm going along. It really gives me an opportunity to be creative. And I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I have a great time with the guys. I'll tell you, if we had a camera off set, when we're off, it'd be crazier, let me tell you.
I challenge you to create a blooper reel. More reason to tune in. There's the information for Wise Guys Cooking right there on the screen. It airs every Sunday night at 11:30. A big thanks to Michael Dees and Tony Pomponio for joining us today. We'll be back with more Wise Guys Cooking. Stay tuned.